Y'all tune into the Pot Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode.
And you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
And with the Pot Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down. To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Yo, let me tell you this. I deep ball, I run the place, and if you want step to this, a gunshot in your face, money, money, we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, money. Money, 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 we have it that money, 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 money.
Pull up 4 10 to the flow, ho. Don't get it, can't have it in my home. Respect has been the motto, stronger than this rap. No comfort, no blue winners. We play the game, lose cause so yourself to blame. Make life make sense, new basketball. Need a full court pressure, I've seen fall. Stay down for my team like Kobe. Stop playing with me, devotee. Magic in every position, like Johnson, I'm cooking a vision. Stay playmaking, never had to fake it and negotiating, but for complication. Try guaranteed 3 up, even when it's strong, they can't beat us. Now you wanna be a queen, bitch, but you can't handle heat. It's a skill to be missed, morale we built to kill in the game's betrayal. You ain't believe in Jesus, but you wanna beg and plead. Now I got them on their knees, looking to the sky, rain, I don't
Money, money, we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 money.
Get that money, money, make them act with dummy. Chasing clout is funny, so they hate but act so chummy. Jesus knows my heart, so I can't get even. He knows my head's a darts. You roll 13 reasons, stalling curtain calls. Time for my new season. What's my time for? Someone help me handle feelings. Try to steal my chips and I'm still intact. I made you, baby, and I can take it back. You was made a fool, I wasn't built like that. Don't innate the weakness, keep it stack. You stay thinking small, so I had to grab the ball. What's in my vocabulary? You told me no how to score. Can't put the price on tag. We just too immune to back. But I live in truth. I let the world look to me for proof.
Money, money, we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 money. Me I work hard for the money, my focus, money. Don't play with my money come in a bundle, in a bundle, in a bundle. My money it come in a bundle, in a bundle, in a bundle. My money it come in a bundle.
Yo, what's up, y'all? You're now tuned into another episode of Stirring the Pot with Tigmatic. Hey, listen, we here. Hey, Don, I see you in the back. I ain't bring you in yet, because I got to do this the right way. Hey, listen, I hope y'all here, folks. I hope y'all had a great New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year. Happy New Year. We here. We moving and booming. As always, this episode was brought to you by Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio, TheMoneyBrand.com, and NorthShapeTheMoreBoutique.com. Hey, listen, we moving and booming, y'all. And I got a co-host, y'all, so I'm about to introduce y'all to him. This is my guy from the NO. You know what I mean? You heard me? As they say, you heard me? Cool dude, man. I rocks with him. Dope personality. So he here with me on the birth of the Legend LLC. He here today. So I bring you my boy, Don Cook. Don, what's popping, my guy?
What's up, man? Happy New Year to everybody. Now tune in to Stirring the Pot, you heard me, with Tigmatic. I'm co-hosting Don Cook. Today we're going to flip mode like Busta Rhymes, and we're going to be switching things up. And I'm going to be interviewing you, my man, Tigmatic, you heard me? We're going to get to know the host, you heard me?
Hey, man, that's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. I'm about to get an interview. I'm in the hot chair today, right?
You in the hot chair, baby.
Yeah, all right, we here then. We gonna get to it, man. All right. But before we get into it, right? Before we get into it, I want you to break it down to who you is for the viewers that never seen you before. Let's get into that real quick.
It's your boy Don Cook, man. Owner of Birth of a Legend LLC, Silent Promotions LLC. I'm just a promoter, host down here in New Orleans. I've done podcasts, had my own podcast, We Are the Industry podcast. And, now I'm jumping on board with my boy Tigmatic, you know what I'm saying, co-hosting, with the pot. So we about to stir it up and get it whipping.
We stirring.
Whip it up.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. So we here. So as we gonna get into it, since I'm in the hot chair, I'm gonna take a sit back and switch a rule real quick. Yeah, man.
So let's go ahead and introduce yourself. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows you as Tigmatic, but tell them who you really are behind the scenes.
All right. So we're gonna get into it. For those that don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Tigmatic. You know what I mean? Straight from South Philly. I'm from the P, as they call it. The hard part of the city. You feel me? And I'm an artist. I'm an entrepreneur. I do a few things. I wear a few hats. I also produce, and I am also CEO of TheMoneyBrand.com, and also owner, not CEO. I was about to say CEO. Owner of the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic and Stirring the Pot with Tigmatic.
For sure,
So,
man.
yeah.
Coming from outside of that, you hear me? Your government name.
Rashawn Ahmed.
Rashawn Whitaker. Tell me about that man. Who is that man? You know what I'm saying?
All right, so
people that don't really know your background and your history.
All right, so for those that do know me, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. Those from Philly that know me, from the P, I'm an artist, I'm a husband, I'm just a regular dude, you know what I'm saying? I make music, I grind, I work, it's not really much to me, you feel me?
Before you became a rapper, were you a ball player, or you always been in the music? Like you always knew, like, man, like I'm gonna be a rapper. This is what my calling was. Or did you have other dreams besides that?
You know what's crazy? It's a crazy thing that you asked that question. That's a good question, by the way. So before anything music-wise, I used to hoop, but I never was like trying being an NBA and none of that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the super hooper. I could hoop, but I wasn't no super hooper. You know what I'm saying? It was just music always for me, man. I'm good with words. I'm witty with punchlines. And I just got a little, twist to me when it comes to being an artist. So I started off in a group. I was in a group called Lions Den, who
Okay.
later became Lions Den Records. And it was a bunch of us. It was me, Nate, Dub, Bullet, and Blood. But, you know, shout out to my people I started with, you know what I'm saying? We was in a group. I was spitting bars heavy. My man Dub, he started me off with the beats. And my old head Smuck too, you know what I'm saying? My old head, he put me on to making beats. And once I started learning how to make beats, I started really sticking with the beats for real. And then next thing you know, I already was rapping. So I transitioned into a producer rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So engineering was kind of more your passion in the beginning, producing and
No,
engineering.
it was the bars. It was both.
It was the
I
bars.
say it was both. It was the bars first though, because everybody knew me for the bars. You know what I mean?
For sure. So what made you like start producing and engineering?
Well, like I said, my man Smuck, shout out to the Jam Slammer. You know what I mean? Shout out to Smuck. He really honed my craft. He showed me how to make the beats. And my man Dub too. You know what I mean? Dub was nice with it. And while we was, recording in a basement, he would make beats and I would just sit there and watch him. And then it went from me saying, yo, that be crazy to, yo, how you do that? Like, what's this right here? How you do this? How you do that? He was teaching me how to make the beats on a beat machine, the DR770, which is a very complicated way to make beats. It's the old school way. You know what I mean? For those that don't know, this is before the MPC was popping. So they go back a long way. You feel me? And yeah, man. He just had me making, learning how to make beats, learn how to make melodies on the piano. And then I transitioned from that to Fruity Loops. So I started making beats and then making my own songs to my own beats.
Shout out Fruity Loops. I know everybody went through their little phase with that program. You heard me?
Yeah,
that was real popular back in the day.
It's still popping now.
Yeah. So you weren't the only one. Like you kind of got took under the wing as far as making the beats. So you weren't the only one just doing that in the group.
No, well, as far as beats, when I was in Lions, then Dub was the beat guy. He was the one with the beats. Like he's like Dr. Dre with it. He had a vision. He put the group together. He was nice with it. And then
what ended up happening with the group? Y'all still in contact or?
Yeah, we all talk from time to time. You know what I'm saying? We still LDR for life. You know what I'm saying? Those my folks. Shout out to Blaze Pro, Bullet the Gray, Dublin the Boss, Nasty Nate. Shout out to y'all, man.
All right. So when you was coming up and you was engineering and you starting your little rap career, were you in the streets or anything like that, or you were just straight music?
Yeah, I was in motion a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no super trapper, but I was out there in the mix doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I ain't had no business doing. You feel me? I definitely was out there in the mix.
So how would you define yourself now versus a younger you back then?
How would I define myself now?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Poised, I would say. I would say seasoned. I would say poised. Smarter. I made a lot of bad decisions in life, so made a lot of mistakes as well. So I would like to say, the me now versus then, I was careless, I was reckless, I ain't really care about nothing. So
Right.
yeah, that's the difference between now and then. I care more, care about people, and I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Life was different. Life is
Right.
different. You feel me?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
Go home.
Go home?
Yeah. 'Cause I played in the
Like,
streets a lot. So
right.
I ain't go home a lot. You know, I used to be out till wee nights of the hour. I mean, wee hours of the night.
Well,
You know?
definitely, I can understand. I can relate, brother. I was
Yeah.
definitely, I did my own dirt when I was young, and I was definitely out and about, staying out past curfew. Just being outside for no reason. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, how do you feel like you survived the streets? Like, how did you manage to be like, all right, it's time for me to get out the streets and start taking my career to the next level, becoming more of a man. You know what I'm saying? Now that you're a husband and everything, how did you get to that point?
To be honest, how did I make that transition? It was hard at first. It was hard at first. Growing up where I'm from, all we know is the street. You know what I'm saying? Streets is how we make our money, all of that. So, I would say when I was younger, I was dumb. I played in the street and I got what people get when they play in the street. You feel me? So what made me change that was the decision to stop playing with my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like I was out here gambling with my life every day. You feel me?
right,
And to the point where I lost things. You know what I'm saying? So you lose people, you lose friends, and when that happened, you got to make a decision. I almost
right.
lost my family over it too. So you feel me?
I know one of the things you went through, you end up getting shot, right?
Yeah, I got shot in the head. Yeah, I got shot in the head.
And how did they like recovering from that? Like, how did that make you look at life? Like,
How to make me look at life.
yeah,
In the beginning, okay, I would say this. In the beginning, I was still a stubborn person, right?
right,
Even people I was moving with, they was like, Ted, you need to move this way, you need to move that way. And I was a stubborn person still. Even though I got shot, it didn't change me at first. It wasn't like no initial change to get out the street and all that. Because let's be real, when we first get shot, a lot of us make the decision to go back to the street. And I
okay.
was one of them people at the time. So
What made you want to go back in the street? Like, you felt like you wanted to get revenge, or you had something more to prove?
it wasn't really about something to prove. I was just saying that was a part of my mindset.
Okay,
So back then, that's what I had chose. And I thought, that was the only way I can eat then. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all my mind was on. Let's get back
right,
to it. I'm trying to get back to it, you know, try and get it. And, I was making bad decisions. You feel me? So when you're making bad decisions and you making the decision to be out there, it's things that come with that. It's consequences that come with that. You
right.
sometimes you gamble, you win, sometimes you lose. And in that moment, it was a moment I had lost. So, to make the conscious decision as a man to make a better decision and a better play is what happened for me. You know what I mean?
Right. So you feel like you still surviving, or you feel like you living now? Since that time kind of done passed.
You said since then, do I feel like I'm surviving?
Yeah, do you feel like you surviving, or you feel like you finally living now that that time done passed, outgrew the streets, you became the man who you are now? You feel like you living, or you feel like you surviving?
Well, as a person with PTSD, it's like a little bit of both, right?
Right,
You know, it's things I lost because I got shot. You know what I'm saying? I lost a piece of my brain, so I survived that. So I'm surviving, but
right,
I grew past it. You know what I'm saying? Because I got so much more ahead of me that what I was then don't matter no more. It's about who I am now and what I'm doing now and what my focus is. So, only God can give you that. You feel me? So,
yeah, I
yeah.
feel that. So, what made you want to start the podcast and the Pot Podcast and the Stirring the Pot? What made you want to start that and transition into podcasting?
Okay. All right. So, for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's people that do know. But for those that don't know, at the time when I first got into all of this, right, I was still an artist at heart. You know what I'm saying? And moving to the South, I transitioned into radio. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? I was more so of I already know I'm this bubbly person, and people saying to me for a minute, like, yo, you like a radio bull. And I'm like, nah. But then the more I look at it, it started to make sense, right? I
all
make
right,
music. I know a lot of people in music. I'm connected to all sorts of people, you know. So why not try my hand at radio? And
no,
it's funny though, because my eyes wasn't really set on radio. And I got
right,
introduced to radio by my dear friend Eric Echoes. And I was a co-host on the Eric Echoes morning show Monday through Friday for about a year and a half. So
all right,
yeah. So I looked at that like that was the stepping stone right there. And he was the one pushing me and encouraging me, like, yo, you got it, bro. You got the song. So all you got to do is just, be more articulate, say what you need to say, and stop being so nervous. And I'm like,
right,
I don't know. I ain't no radio boy. I'm a rapper for real. And he like, but
right.
you could do both. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So
So,
I chose to
so
do that.
do you feel like having a podcast has helped you like further your music career as far as like pushing your own music?
Hmm. I would say I'm not really trying to push a rap career.
All right,
I'm gonna say I would say I'm not really trying to push a rap career. I just make music when I feel like it because it feels good. Because I'm
makes
still
sense.
nice. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Um, Being able to create after surviving everything that I went through, you feel me? I look at it as a blessing. So I'm not gonna waste my talent. So I just decided to keep creating. The podcast wasn't really for me. Even though it got my name all over it, it's
right.
not really for me though. You feel me? So I looked at
So
it
do
like my vision was like more towards highlighting other artists. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to let the underground person be heard, or those that are popping have a place to just come and tell their story. So that's
right.
what the show was really about.
That's what's up, man. That's love. So you feel like now, like this is kind of like a stress reliever for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
That's
much.
what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. So, what does stirring the pot really mean to you philosophically?
Philosophically, oh man, it's an array of things, right? Because the pot, we already know. Like when you doing the pot, when I'm doing the pot and people are watching the pot, they already know. This really where people gonna talk about the obstacles they've been through, you know, what it took for them to get where they are professionally, you know, and maybe pinpoint some things in life that can help people get along or, you know, be more open to sharing their story or whatever they had going on and how they got over it. So, yeah, pretty much it.
So, when people listen to your voice, what do you hope they feel before they even understand your words?
Hmm. When they just hear my voice. Repeat the question.
When people listen to your voice, what do you hope they feel before they even understand your words?
That I meant them.
That they're truthful.
Yeah. I've always been a person that tell the truth. Like even in the song Forever I'm Lit, right? I say this
Right.
one part in the song on Forever I'm Lit. I say F the money up, my mom paid it back, my pockets back on flat. Cause I ain't know the rules.
Right.
That was a true story. Like I decided to go out there and trap when I was a young boy, like when I was like 13. And I decided to go out there in the mix and try to trap, but I ain't really know what I was doing. Messed all the money. I made the money, made all the money, and bought a tool with the money. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? But I
Right.
still owed him that money. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
you
I can
know,
relate.
yeah, you know how that goes. You know, you make little young boy moves and you don't really know what you're doing. So, you know, I got older,
That,
I learned the rules, and, you know, that ain't nothing to glorify, though. For me, it was like, that was a dumb move because, you know, something could have really happened behind that, too. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, how blessed you feel though to have a mother to look out for you in that way though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Give you
that's
the
a fact.
money,
May she rest in peace. You know?
real tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through not that situation, but I was out here trapping and I got caught up and got locked up. So I ain't had the money to pay the dude back. My mama looked out for me that one time, and that's like the only time she ever gave me money. But that was a blessing, you know what I'm saying? Because that whole situation could have went a whole another direction. You feel me?
Right. Yeah, that was definitely, you know, protection, you know.
Most definitely.
But even then, you know, I got older and I started playing. I was playing in the street, doing what young boys in the street do. I'm not going to get all into that because I'm not here to glorify none of it. But
Right.
bottom line is, I did what I had to do at that time, and I encourage young boys to not make the same mistakes I did. You feel me?
Right.
So
Right.
that's pretty much the premise of why I really started this show as well. You know, to talk to the youth, encourage them that it's a better way. You can do other things. Put your mind to something else other than the street, because the streets will take you whole.
Most definitely. They
And
want
they
it
ain't gonna
all.
give you back once they get a full hold on you.
Most
You gotta
definitely.
be the one to make the conscious decision to step away from it. And that's how it really is out here.
So, how did your mama, how did she play a role as far as like with your rap career and your podcasting? Was she a big supporter? Did she encourage you to like go that route?
Music wise, when I was younger, my mom, she didn't even know I made music, right?
All
She
right.
didn't even know. Like she just thought I was ripping and running, which I was because I was never home. Like I was all over the city. You know how some people they just be in the part where they from?
Right.
Nah, I was a hopper. I was going to every hood and all throughout the whole city. I was
Most
one of them.
definitely.
So yeah. You know, I was making connections, meeting people, meeting girls. You know, that was my thing. You know, um. So yeah, you know, I always was grinding. Um, just trying to find a different way to express myself. So with the music, my mom, she didn't know that I was rapping until somebody knocked on the door and was like, knock, 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 knock. And they was like, yeah, I want to battle your son. And my mom, she thought it was like, I'm about to knuckleball. So she
Right.
comes all to the door, all aggressive, the room door. And she like, yo, somebody said they wanted to battle you. And I'm like, who? And she like, some boy said he wanted to battle you. And walked to the door. And then she thought I was about to fight. I'm like, oh, it's a rap battle, mom. So she like, oh, all right. You know how old his is. They don't be really knowing our lingo. You know what I'm saying? She thought I was about to throw down. Like,
Right,
so,
like who you got coming knock on my door looking for you?
right, right. So that's what that was. And she had got that feeling like thinking it was about to be something. And then that was the moment that she found out, you know, that I could rap. And I rapped that day. And, you know, me and a guy, uh, one of my man Half of the Beast friends, I forget boy name, but me and him battled and we just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was like no winner. So people just called it a rap, and it was like a tie. And you know how that go. We both talking smack to each other like, nigga, I'm still, oh, excuse my words, I'm still hotter than you. I'm hotter than you. You know what I'm saying? And that went on. You know how that go. We was young boys, but that was the moment that my mom found out, and she was very supportive, man. Once she found out that I actually had music on CD, because this is how far back we going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But once she found out I had the music on the CD and I was making music with my guys, and she was like, so that's what they doing every time they come to pick you up. And I'm like, yeah, we about to go record. She thought I was, you know, doing my thing, but I wasn't doing that with them. I was doing that on my own, on my dolo. And yeah, man. So my mom was my biggest supporter, man. And I miss her a lot, but yeah.
So how has that affected you as far as like keep pushing with the podcast? I know you just recently lost your mama. So how hard was it like to keep going and being motivated to keep going?
Good question. Good question. So it's crazy how things come around full circle sometimes, right?
Right.
You know, when she passed, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not been that long ago. She been going since September, it's January.
Right.
So you know, it's definitely hard. I'm still, you know, pushing through that pain, right?
Right.
But in the same sense, I understand that, you know, to be absent in the body is to be with the Lord. I'm a firm believer in that. You feel me? So when she left, I knew she was no longer experiencing pain, no more sickness. You know, she wasn't going through none of that. You feel me? So the transition, it's been a little rough, but I remember the last thing she said to me. You know, before she passed, it's crazy. She was like unconscious for a couple months. Well, not even a couple months, but almost a month. And then when she woke up, before this happened, actually, I'm sorry. Before that happened, we had a conversation. And she was talking to me, and she said to me, she was like, So when is the new Tigmatic album coming out? And I'm like, I got some things in the works. And she like, you keep playing all this music for me. When you gonna put it out? And I'm like, I got something in the works. You know, I ain't gonna do what I used to do because that was my thing when I was younger. I would make all this hot music and then be like, no, I ain't ready to drop. You know, doubting myself. You know, it's just a little, you know, thing I had went through at one point. And although all my peers was telling me I was hot, for me it was like I wasn't ready yet. And I felt like I wasn't ready because I knew I wasn't ready. But I told her that, and she was like, anything you want to do in life, just do it.
Right.
Don't waste your years. You already up there. Just do it. Just put it out. Don't worry about who like it. Don't worry about who don't like it. Just put it out.
All right, what else you got to lose?
And that was the moment where, you know, I didn't know that was going to be like the last serious conversation we had, but it's like the most impactful conversation of my life since then. And it just got me back in my creative mode, man. I'm back out. You know, I'm moving around a little bit and I'm making the music. And I'm potting again. I'm back and I'm stirring the pot. You feel
So
me?
that conversation inspired any of your new music that you recently dropped? Like Forever I'm Lit?
Well, Forever I'm Lit. Yeah, you can say that because it was like her passing really just had me like, yo, because I got a song tributed to her that I'm working on now. But it's hard to write that. You feel me? Most of my songs I don't write, but I'm writing this one because it's gonna be like a real open letter, right?
Right.
And the inspiration behind that song was that conversation mixed with reintroducing myself to the industry and the world right now. Because there's so many people that I know in the industry that heard me rap and they like, yo, you need to put out something.
Right.
So, yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give somebody like an artist, a younger artist, or any artist really that may have lost their mother, you know what I'm saying, like on how to deal with it mentally and, you know, how to push through?
What I would say to somebody experiencing the same thing, it never gets easier. Like, I have good days, I have bad days, you know. It's like 3 months and a few days, right?
Right.
Since my mom been gone, right? So like it never gets better. It's good days, it's bad days, it's days that you might feel like you don't want to do it, but my suggestion will be pushed through anyway. Because they will want you to do that, you know.
Right.
I know that's what my mom wanted for me. And that conversation was meant to happen for a reason. I really look at it like that, you know. What are the odds that she asked me that and she say everything that she said to me? She said more than that, but that's personal for me, you know, but I can share that with y'all. But that inspired me to just keep going off, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just keep hitting them with more music and more music and more music. You know, it's not with the intention to go viral. If it does, cool. You know, like on Instagram, Forever I'm Lit. Right now, it ain't even been that long. It's at 9,000 views. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram.
So
I
do you feel
appreciate the
like,
love.
You feel like the studio now is more like a safe haven? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe compared to like maybe your younger days, you used to go to the basketball court and hoop. You know what I'm saying? Now that you older, music being your passion, do you find like being in the studio, being around the people that's in the studio, you know what I'm saying, helps you relieve your stress?
The studio always been that for me. I was a troubled kid as a young boy. That's what kind of like pushed me to the streets to begin with, right?
Right.
Same story. Fatherless kid, daddy issues. I was in juvie, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that was the one place I could like really release my anger and it not get me in trouble. You know
Most
what I'm
definitely.
saying? Or, when I was stressed out and I needed to really vent through the wire is always the best way. You feel me? Or, shooting a few shots out, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But uh now it just has a different meaning behind it because it's not stress anymore. Now it's more of a hobby and more fun for me. It's not
Right.
about the stress. It's
Right.
about just having fun and really enjoying the fruits of my labor and just putting the music out.
So is that like one of the reasons you started the pot? Because I know the pot is like more catered to like mental health issues and things like that. Is like your background the reason why you like, man, let me touch on this and talk about mental health and bring awareness to people to help, people get through their tough times.
Yeah, so it's definitely about mental health. Um, and the reason it was like this for me, I started the pot to really encourage artists to be open. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody can really know about what type of artist you is, why you sound the way you sound, if you don't tell the full story. You can tell a
Right.
story in the music, but then you can really get them another side of you, your fans, I'm talking about. You can get your fans another side of you that makes them relate more and make them feel comfortable with why you sound the way you do. And for those that relate, once they hear your story, it gives them more reason to listen to your music. You feel me? So this is
Right.
like a space where people can share those stories, really touch the people in a way where they feel like they know you better.
Right.
So that's what it's designed to do. And also talk about mental health and not just post traumatic stress disorder, because I know a lot of people think that just because I got PTSD, there's a lot of other people out here with PTSD. You feel
Yeah,
me?
most definitely.
Yeah. So it's a lot of people out here with PTSD. So, it goes for anything else. Schizophrenia, you know, uh, anything mental that people experience, phobias, any of it,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I know it's big down here. Like mental health is like real big down here in New Orleans, dealing with the hurricanes. You lose your whole house, you got to start all over. They got a lot of people down here that's suffering from it, but it's one of those things that it seems like the government or the elected officials, they kind of like tuck it under the rug. A lot of the hospitals and stuff got closed down. A lot of the therapists and things like that is like people don't really got access to that anymore. So like to have somebody like you have a podcast and people go, tap in, it's definitely a good vital tool, you know what I'm saying? For people to, learn how to cope with what they going through.
Yeah, I would say even for people like that, you got to identify personal values and goals,
Right.
and understand why your behavior changes the way it is, right?
Most
And
definitely.
when you got things like depression, anxiety, stress, substance abuse, uh, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, any of it, right?
Right.
It's a reason behind it, right? It's a reason behind all of it. So, I think that people like with these types of things need to find ways to channel their energy so they don't be stressed out as much. You know, this is what podcasting does. Podcasting does for me. You feel me?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Let me see. So how when you got shot, how did it affect you as far as like, you losing a part of your brain? That's major. How did that affect you, and how does it still affect you to this day?
Hmm. I mean, some of the ways it affected me is I look at things different, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have this misconception that a person that gets shot in the head, they not smart anymore. They can't do this, they can't do that. And I'm living proof that you can do a lot.
Right.
A lot of people have this misconception that you lose a piece of your brain. There are things that I go through which I'm not going to discuss to the public, but the things that I go through, I consider them a blessing because it could be the opposite. I could be a vegetable.
Right.
My wife would could be feeding me instead of me feeding myself. I could have a speech impediment. I could not be able to talk or walk or do anything. When it's people that I was literally in a rehabilitation center with that couldn't do none of this stuff we talking about, bro. Like,
Right.
like real rap, like they just couldn't do any of those things. So I consider it a blessing. I don't really look at what I can't do because I look at it like with God, I could do everything. You feel me?
Did you ever have a moment where you felt like you shouldn't be alive? That maybe
Of course, bro. Here's a true story. Right after getting shot in my top, I caught meningitis in my brain. And I had a fever, a very, very high fever, over 100.
Yeah.
And they was like, if you don't get this surgery, you're going to die in 4 days. And I was telling them I ain't want the surgery.
Right.
I don't care. I just died in. But that was my mental state messing with me from being shot in the head, being angry that somebody tried to down me, all that. You feel me? So I wasn't looking at the blessing that I had. You feel me? I wasn't looking at, yo, I took a bullet to the wig and I'm still alive. I can still talk. You know what I mean? I wasn't looking at none of that. And those was the moments where I look at it like I could have died, but I appreciate the fact that I'm here.
Right.
I appreciate the fact that God chose to keep me here. You feel me? So like, yeah, that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they could have went the opposite way. So what am I complaining about?
Most definitely. So what were like some of the physical obstacles you faced during your recovery? You had to like relearn how to walk, relearn how to talk.
For sure. I had to learn how to walk. I had to learn how to talk. Had to learn how to tie my shoes. Bro, I got nerve damage on the whole left side of my body. So certain things don't function like they should on my left side. And that's cool, but because I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm good. And I'd rather that than be a vegetable. I'm here. Like, I can move my hands. You know what I'm saying? I can hoop. I can work out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
How you feel it? Like, how did it affect the people around you when you did get shot? And then, you know, did you ever ask them like how it affected them?
Of course. So for those that don't know, for people that have these type of injuries like mine, right? You know, I'm gonna keep it all the way funky. It's definitely a behavioral switch there. High levels of anger, especially early on with the PTSD, flashbacks, triggers. Without therapy, you'll just be a mess. For me, I've done years and years of therapy to learn how to release things that angered me and triggered me along my journey. So for me, what they experience and go through was hard for them at first.
Right.
Because they had to adjust to the person I was before I am now versus the dude I was before getting shot. I was a different dude before getting shot. And in the beginning, it kind of was like a dark cloud around me, bro. So, you know how that go when you're a dark cloud and ain't no good energy coming from that. You feel me? So that's what I mean by after I got hit, I went right back. Bro, I went right back. So it was like,
man, it's wild.
and then imagine what that's like. You out there on the street, you get popped up in the top. You on 10 everywhere you go.
Right.
You look at me wrong, you say something to me wrong, all that. Yeah. So, you know, it took a while for me to get in a place, in a space to transition and to be more poised and to be more calm. And I had to figure out some things, you know, so that my family wouldn't be under stress a lot, because it was stressful for them in the beginning. A lot of people felt like they couldn't talk to me in the beginning. You know?
Right. So how did that change? Like, what made that change? Like, did somebody like speak to you and it just like dawned on you, like, man, I gotta make a change? Or you just got fed up with like living that lifestyle and looking over your shoulder and feeling that
Both.
type of way?
Both. It was both, bro. It was both. You know, I was out there doing some things. I came home and somebody was trying to down me. And they like, yo, they looking for you, whoop-de-whoop. And they told my wife, and I come home and it's my wife, my mom, my cousin, and they giving me a whole intervention like, yo, I heard whoop-de-whoop, and such tried to do such and such, and you was trying to do such and such, and then I'm like, damn. Like, you know, there was an intervention, but that was the moment where they was like, yo, you out of pocket. You doing too much. Like, you barely survived that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we not trying to have the same thing happen to you, or this time you did. You feel me? And that was like one of the realest moments of conversations for me ever, because in that moment, you know, my wife, not only was my wife caring enough to understand me, but she also knew that, you know, for me, I needed a change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A change of scenery, change of mind. So what also changed my mind, to answer your question, is the love I got for my family, my wife and kids. You know,
Right.
I didn't want to, I didn't want my wife and kids to be growing up in a culture, you know what I'm saying, that was dangerous.
Right.
Feel me? And to make the conscious decision to leave that was like one of the best decisions I ever made. You know what I'm saying? So
So at what point did like faith in your spirituality come into play?
that's a great question. Great question. So I was having a rough time, you know, and I was one of them bulls. I was one of them bulls that used to blame God for everything, like it wasn't me that was causing. You know how that is? Like when you know that you're the one accountable, but you want to blame everybody else but you.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
I was
hard
one of them.
to look in the mirror sometimes.
Right. And it definitely was hard for me to look in that mirror. And fortunately for me, I took that moment to stand in the mirror. You
Right.
feel me? And when I did that, and I started to be accountable for everything that I caused, everything that I lost, it was all my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was to the point I almost lost my family over it.
Right.
You know, so my spirituality came from understanding what I was brought up in. For one, I was brought up in church. You feel me? And I deterred away from that. You know, when I was younger, like I didn't want to go to church no more, and I stopped going. And my wife helped usher me back to God. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
And because of that, you know, it's changed me a whole lot because I did not just the therapy, but I started opening up the book and reading it. Like
Right.
really reading it. You know how
Right.
when you open the Bible up, a lot of us, we just read a verse. No, I start really reading. Then I start doing church and then sermons and then it just start clicking. Everything start giving me a lot of perspective on what was missing in my life.
Right.
And that's when it started to change, man. That's when it
So,
started to change.
so who stood by you like through your most vulnerable time? Was your wife your most supportive person next
Definitely.
to you?
My wife, my in-laws, they are the most supportive people and they mean the world to me, man. Like real rap.
Did
You know.
anybody like that was close to you like disappear after the shooting? Like while
Oh
you was
yeah.
going through
You
them
know,
through them hard times?
my friend that saved my life, he's booked Free Dom Dada. That was my rap partner as well. But he's the one who saved my life. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't leave or depart me. I just moved down south. You know what I'm saying? But that was my ace. That was my young boy. We was together every day, you know, and you know, unfortunate things happened. And, you know, he's facing some years in prison right now. And when he come home, hopefully we can get right back to it like it was nothing, but not in the mix in a different way.
Right.
You know?
So by him dealing with what he's dealing with, does that affect you in any way? Do you feel like you played any part in that or
Yeah, I do. Because, you know, I was the wrong influence. You
right?
feel me? I was the wrong influence. And like while he was young, although he was an adult, I'm older than him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm 9 years older than him. So it was like I had him doing stuff with me, and I was kind of like the wrong influence. The decisions he made were his own, though. I was down here already. He made his decisions, but I feel like I played a part in it by not talking to him as much as I should have been once I left and telling him, like, yo, it was all a facade, man. It was all a lie. You know, because if I would have talked to him more about that, maybe he could have made a different decision. You know, so yeah.
Most definitely. So do you feel like now, like, that makes you watch yourself around people that's, you know, that's looking up to you? Like, I know they got some people around that's probably younger, you know, watching you, you know what I'm saying? That make you want to influence them in the right direction compared to, like, back in the day?
Of course. That's all I do this for real. That's what, you know, I care about our people, you know, on a high scale. And I don't want to see the young people crash out and make bad decisions, and then the cycle just keeps going on, right? You want to change the cycle at some point in life. And you want to make sure for generations that they have a more positive mindset versus a negative mindset, because negative only begets more negativity.
Right.
It's always going to be more negativity, you know? The older we get, we should be the one showing the young boys a different way to the bag. It's a different way to the bag.
Right. Well, definitely. I stay preaching that, bro. Like, and just trying to be, try to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? And show people, like, you can make it, I mean, you can make money legit. You don't have to be in the streets, you know, selling and robbing and doing all that stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right. All right, so right now, what we gonna do is we gonna come right back on a break, because we just went an hour straight and we should have been playing some music in between. So I'm gonna hit y'all with some PNB Chiz right now. Keep it locked in. We stirring the pot, y'all.
About 1:15 p.m., Southeast Patrol officers responded to the 100 block of Manchester Avenue for a robbery that just occurred. When they arrived, they found a male suffering gunshot wounds, and that male was then transported to the hospital.
I done made it out the struggle, I done made it out of my streets. I had days I seen brains on the concrete. I had days I came out and wasn't trying to speak. I had pain that remains under my feet. I had the rain switching lanes, old body. See me with her, ask me if I hit her, it's a probably. Catch a girl freak, I'm used to hit them in the alley. Biggest in the room, you ain't even in the lobby. Back streets raised me, I'm a backstreet baby. I got that roll call with the street lights, niggas play me. I got niggas think I'm crazy, I got bitches think I'm wavy. I got mom dukes looking at me saying I got lazy. I got shit I gotta do, and this ones I gotta do it for. I gotta make shit safe, run the corner store. I gotta make shit straight for the young boys. Keep them out the streets and out the reach of these dumb boys. Shit don't make sense, I'ma make moves. I'ma make hits like I'm Babe Ruth. We gon' take your chick out the Chris roof. I mean roof Chris, eat the cake too. This for all my brothers in them state boots. Miss you niggas, ain't no one that can replace you. To all the ones that's gone and feel like I done failed you. Survivor's guilt is real, that they when I tell you. I'm thankful, I think every moment that I ever had was I pray to God daily that we make it through the years. Tell him, man, I'm grateful. I'm great. I'm greater than the hate that I'm getting thrown in my ear. No matter what they say, I'ma make it up out of here. We made it out of where they say they never make it out of. It's homicides, the news ain't always gotta say about it. They taking souls until they souls is getting taken out of them. They pride is high, they say they'll do it, I don't even doubt them. Yeah, I try to stand, they thinking mine clear. Tell them my clearing, it still ain't no fearing. Yeah, you done, but you ain't out of it, ain't over. You the definition of a soldier. I'm thankful, I thank every moment that I ever had with who we are. I pray to God daily that we make it through the years. Tell them, man, I'm grateful, I'm great. I'm greater than the hate that I'm getting thrown in my ear. No matter what they say, I'ma make it up out of here.
Foolish made this fool. Know that.
I think they mad and I'm on them niggas know I'm the shit. I'm Mr. I'm at it, I keep that ratchet to spit. I'm putting pressure all on them, trying to advance to the chip. Get in the way of my dreams, Wody, I let off the stick. It ain't no stopping me. They hating on my moves, which mean they watching me. Trying to do just what I do, but moving sloppily. I'ma be on top and I predict it like a prophecy. I live that high life forever. They mad, I'm on and I know they hate, but I remember nights that I barely ate. Sleeping in the basement on a waterbed with no box springs, just doors on crates. Was a skinny nigga with an attitude, living life with no gratitude. Was robbing niggas for my next meal, cause I was dead broke and I ain't had food. Had a nigga like fuck school, went to juvie where a nigga learned to move. Ski tossed me that crack and told me to trap. I bought me my first tool, fucked the money up, my mom paid it back. My pockets back on flat cause I ain't know the rules. And now a nigga older and I know the rules. I'm getting money with a lean and a shoulder grooves. And when they counted me out, them real niggas gon' count me in. Man, they threw me in the water thinking I would drown, but with the sharks I swim. Man, I'm back on my feet and I'm back to the street. Niggas wish they had a spark like him. I think they mad and I'm on, cause niggas know I'ma win. I think they mad and I'm on, them niggas know I'm the shit. I'm Mr. I'm at it, I keep that ratchet to spit. I'm putting pressure all on them, trying to advance to the chip. Get in the way of my dreams, Wody, I let off the stick. It ain't no stopping me. They hating on my moves, which mean they watching me. Trying to do just what I do, but moving sloppily. I'ma be on top and I predict it like a prophecy. I live that high life forever. I was sitting back and that was my time. Now they sit and watch how I shine. Gotta move fast and got no time for the slow grind. This flow here be a gold mine. Showing out when it's go time. There first like the front line. Philly nigga 10 toes down for the money on. Y'all want mine. Always putting that groundwork. Lied out like a sound burst. Started off with a pound first. Niggas moving that brown dirt. Beef I eat, leave your man's murk. Beat a nigga till my hands hurt. Started off with a plan, nigga. Just see if that plan work. And now it working, y'all niggas mad. I can see the look on y'all faces. Hating on me, got you moving fast, so I guess it's time I get flagrant. If I'm on go and I'm getting low, homie, you don't wanna see the gay spit. Not bad for an OG that really started from the base. Mad and I'm on, them niggas know I'm the shit. I'm Mr. I'm at it, I keep that ratchet to spit. I'm putting pressure all on them, trying to advance to the chip. Get in the way of my dreams, Wody, I let off the stick. It ain't no stopping me. They hating on my moves, which mean they watching me. Trying to do just what I do, but moving sloppily. I'ma be on top and I predict it like a prophecy. I live that high life forever, I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. I live that high life forever, I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. I live that high life forever, I'm lit.
All right, and we back.
We back forever. We lit, you heard, man. Stirring the pot. Tigmatic, down
We
cook.
here.
Y'all locked in, you heard me. Hope
New
y'all enjoying
video
everything.
for those that didn't see it. Forever I'm Lit by yours truly. You know, we out here.
No, definitely.
Yeah, man.
So
Shot
tell me
by
about
Day 2 times.
so tell me about what were you really trying to say on Ain't Getting It and Frauding? Break that down for us a little bit.
Oh man. Ain't Getting It. All right. Ain't Getting It. That's a banger too. Like, shout out to my man Chaos the Torch. Shout out to Torch Man for that. Sinister Beats. That beat was by Sinister Beats. And Ain't Getting It was more of a me just talking heavy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I really don't talk heavy a lot, but when I do, I talk heavy and it got a little sting to it.
Right.
So I teamed up with my man Chaos the Torch, and we hopped on that song. It's crazy is I don't even blow the loud no more because the hook is y'all ain't puffing on that loud. Y'all ain't up in none of these woes. Y'all ain't grinding like we grinding. Y'all ain't getting none of this dough. Them
Right.
lanes ain't doing it like me. Them lanes ain't doing it like me. Them lanes ain't getting it like me. Them lanes ain't getting it like me. And yeah, in that moment, we was out there getting it. So like, we just wanted to talk heavy on the track. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
yeah, you know, it was just a fun record. We was talking about, you know, things in the street and all of that. You know, I ain't in the street no more, so that's like a different record. But what was the other record you asked about?
The Frauding.
Bro, and shout out to my guy Foolish, Sounds 41. Bro was more like a statement record. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of y'all out here talking like y'all be out here, y'all was doing this, y'all doing that. Y'all be fraud. You ain't never
Right.
do none of that. So why you fraud? So that
Thanks, man.
basically was about what that was about. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, they definitely got a lot of artists that's out right now that was looking out the window or watching their big cousin or the big homie down the street. They definitely wasn't living
they
like
never
that, you
had the
heard?
opportunity to really be out there, be in the mix or none of that. And that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people lie about the life they live to sound a certain way. Me, I didn't have to lie about the life I lived. I ain't never been no millionaire, so I ain't gonna talk like I'm a millionaire. But I'm a
Right.
thousandaire though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
So, you know, I know about that. I could talk a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what that was. And that was the fraud record. I just really felt like I just had to really talk about it. Y'all ain't who you claim to be. You fraud and you lying. We put rappers out this game and y'all all be retired. Right. You
Yeah,
know?
I be telling a lot of the youngsters, man, like when you talk that gangster talk, you know what I'm saying, the real gangsters gonna come out and they gonna test you. They gonna see if you really bought their life, you heard?
They gonna see. That's a fact. But yeah,
For
you
real.
know, those is like the last of my records like that though. Like I'm about to change my whole sound. Ain't gonna be talking about nothing about the streets at all.
Right.
You know,
So
I feel like I'm being a part of a message with those two records. They are the last two records like that. That's why I put them out so I can be done with that. Because all this
right.
new heat, the bars is still crazy, but it's just on a different type sound. You know what I'm saying? It's more talking about business. It's more talking about family or things that's going on in the street that we see, you know, and a whole bunch of other things, you know. I feel like I talked about that for 20 years. We know, Tig. What else you gonna rap about? That's what this is about now for me. And that's about the what else.
What do you think about with the hot topic right now with a lot of the rappers saying F the streets? How do you feel about that? Like what is your input on it?
I mean, I'm gonna say this: if that's how they feel, then that's how they feel. Who am I to tell them to not feel that way?
Right.
Who am I to tell somebody how to feel? And why I'm getting mad because somebody feel how they feel about their experience in the street.
Right.
It's their experience.
You feel
What
like
you mad for?
you feel like it's a shift coming though, like more
Absolutely.
positivity?
There's a huge shift because a lot of us are waking up. And that's what we need right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might not like me saying it. They might not feel that I'm saying it. And that's cool. I ain't gonna change who I am because you don't like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know.
Yeah, one of our hottest artists down here, D1, he been
He
pushing
fine.
it. You know, everybody, the majority of the people support him here. I mean, they got some people down here that dislike him, but I mean, he definitely bringing a positive message. And he just, one of the artists that I look up to. But I think a shift needs to be, needs to happen in the game here because all we doing is teaching the younger generation how to destroy themselves instead of rebuild themselves and
uplift.
be better, and be better than the last generation.
Yeah, that's why, that's why part of what I do now and the music, as far as the sound, as far as culture itself, the shift is happening because too many of us dying.
Right, most definitely.
Crashing out over stuff we don't really need to be crashing out over. Some situations don't even require a drill. You know what I'm saying? But they have to get taught that though, right? It's not, people look at the music as a big part of it. It is a big part of it. Don't get me wrong. But it starts within yourself. And if you don't know yourself, then you're in big trouble. You know what I mean? And I think what needs to happen now is we need to teach people more. In the 90s, there was a lot of teaching going on in the music. Teaching your history, teaching where you come from, teaching unity, all of that. And it's a big, like you mentioned D1. D1 is definitely about the shift. He's causing a lot of bridges to happen as far as, the gangster rappers switching up and seeing how much of this message is alive. I was one of them, bro. Like, it was alive. You know what I'm saying? I got behind something that was alive for me.
Yeah, the internet definitely exposing the game too, because you're starting to find out like some of the people you looked up to that you thought were gangster, they really not that gangster. You know what I mean? They really was inside, wasn't living like that, but they were telling you to live like that. And by that being exposed, it definitely made you looking at the game differently. You feel me?
Yeah, that's truth. Like I said, and I ain't never been one to make it seem like I was out there the heaviest. I wasn't out there the heaviest, but I was out there. And, I did some things I'm not proud of. You know what I'm saying? What they are, I'll never disclose them because that's a closed chapter of my life for a reason. They call it a closed chapter for a reason.
Thanks. So, do you feel like your music saved you or exposed you?
Both. I feel like both. God saved me though.
Right.
God saved me, but the music was an outlet. The music was always there as an outlet. And if I would have focused more on that and stuck with that, it might have been a different outcome. Maybe I wouldn't have been shot in the head. I would have been in a booth that night. You feel me? It was actually my wife's baby shower for our child, and she had just came from it. And I'm like, yo, I'll be back. And dipped off, and she had a bad feeling, don't go. And I didn't listen. That morning, I got shot in the top. I ain't even come home that night because I was, you know, doing street activities.
Right.
You know, so this is why I say, you know, when you play in the street, there's consequences to it. You know, you got to be willing as a man to accept the consequences that come with it. But you'd be a fool to go back to the same thing if it has the same outcome every time.
Yeah, I don't.
Definitely would be a fool.
Yeah, I don't understand why like people that know better don't do better. That's something that hasn't really registered to me. I don't know if it's peer pressure. You know what I'm saying, or like what their situation be, but like once I started to learn, like all right, this ain't the way to go. I definitely stayed out that path. You feel me? But they got people that know better, that don't do better, and they continue to just go down that path.
But some is all they know.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it all falls down on choices. It's all about the choices you make, how you plan on being better than what you was, or deciding to stay the same.
Right.
Some people decide to stay the same and it works for them. You know,
right.
Now my personal opinion on that, I'm not going to say that, but they feel it's working for them.
Right. Exactly.
I'm going to say that.
Yeah, more doubt about to say like it's working for them for the moment until it catches up to them. It always will catch up to you. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
But not to get all topic, to get back to the music. Tell me a little bit about Sinister Beats and Foolish. What is your relationship with them?
Sinister, I don't really have a relationship with him.
All right.
I had for that track came through my Lions Den Records folks. And that's how that came about. And Nasty Nate, shout out to Nasty Nate. He was like, yo, he's CEO of Lions Den Records. And I was just getting back with the squad. You know what I'm saying? I was like the ODB of the camp. You know how ODB was wilding out in the street and they could never find him when it was time to get in the booth?
Right.
That was me. You know what I'm saying? They could never find me when it was time to get in the booth. They like, yo, he hot. We need him. And when they went looking for me, luckily sometimes they was able to find me. But sometimes they just couldn't find me. So when we got back together was after like a couple months after they heard I got shot. This was years later. I haven't heard from them for years. And then after I got shot a couple months later, we find each other and they like, we've been looking for you. And I'm like, oh, snap. And so yeah, that's how I got that beat. And me and Chaos the Torch, we did our thing with that beat, man. And people was really rocking with it. And it's one of my favorite tracks to this day. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sinister Beats. Now, Foolish, to answer the second part of your question, Foolish, man, that dude is a monster, bro. He's a monster on the keys. He's a monster on the drums. And, I met him through my brother. He introduced me to him when I first moved down here. And I went to a party when I first came down here. The party was popping. Came back from the party and met him. And I didn't know that Foolish was like, I didn't know that he was like one of them ones when we first
Right.
met. But as time went on, you know, for 10 years, we built a rapport and a relationship. And that's like one of my homies for real. That's my dog. And, you know, he's produced hits for Boosie, Yavo, Track Dicky, and a lot of other people, you know, industry folks. So love and hip hop, the list goes on. You could think of it, he's done it. So he's a dope dude. And our relationship, man, he's actually part of the reason why the pot became the pot.
Right.
True story, bro. True story. When I first did the first episode, right? And I said this before, I think I said this on like episode 7 or whatever. But I said it because it's a true story. That's what he said to me. He was like, yo, you keep putting you hoarding all the music. And I'm like, huh? He's like, what you hoarding all the music? Because every time he'd pull up the check on me and we would smoke or whatever, you know, and all that and chop it up. And then I'll be playing music in the studio. I'm in the studio right now, but I will play something and he'd be like, yo, you keep making all this music. What you doing with it? Put it out. Same conversation my mom had with me. Same conversation. So it was like coming around full circle, right? So he was like, yo, you gotta put it out, dog. And I still wasn't putting it out. But then when I finally did this, that's when Foolish was like, yo, come on, let's go to the booth. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Part of the reason I wasn't asking you to come to the booth before because you was just making all this music and not doing nothing. And I'm like, he like, yeah, you got like you talented, bro. You got all this talent, but you just ain't doing nothing with it. And when he said that to me, it hit me in a way where it was like a lot of the times as people, we don't see what other people see.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't see if someone believes in you, they really want you to believe in you just as much as they believe in you.
Right.
And he believed in me, but didn't want to work with me until I was ready to move. And once I started to move, that's when things started to change. So
yeah, that made perfect sense though.
Yeah, you know, it was crazy because we was chopping it up for 10 years, bro. We ain't do no music. I've been here 10 years. No, so I'm gonna say 8 years. So 8 years, the 8 years out of the 10 years, we was just chopping it up and just being homies, but we weren't doing nothing musically.
Right.
Like he would make beats and I'd rap over the beats, but I wasn't never recording and none of that. Because he was just watching how I was moving and it was like, I'm hoarding the music. He was right.
Yeah. So now, you feel like he kind of inspires you to like really start releasing.
Yeah, he was the fire that I needed. I needed to hear him say those words.
Right.
I really needed to hear him say those words because he's very successful at what he does, you know. And I care more about the friendship more than creating the music, right? Because within that time we had so many deep conversations and talk about things that really matter, right? But when he said that to me, it was the realization of how much I procrastinated with things.
Makes sense.
And even though I was on the radio, I only played my music on the radio twice for a whole year and a half, bro. And it wasn't like I didn't have the support. I had the support. I just wasn't doing it.
Why you think that was? Just didn't have the faith in yourself, or?
I knew I wasn't ready.
All right.
And I was dealing with a lot mentally. You know, therapy really works for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I was one of those people that was going through so much mentally that it felt like an overload.
Right.
So when I would try to create, I would get a block. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When I would try to create, I would start half the song and then be like, I'll come back to it. You know, and I wasn't really finishing my projects, man. But, you know, it's different now because I have a drive and a will to where I just want to see it all through. But not just that, I'm having fun again.
Right.
I wasn't having fun. You feel me?
Yeah, you definitely gotta have the right people around you, you know what I'm saying, to stay motivated.
Yeah.
You know, and the more you go through, the more you have to talk, so it becomes easier to write. You know, sometimes you get caught up in the moment because you live in it. You know what I'm saying? You're going through it, so it's hard to express it because you kind of on like that shutdown mode, trying to figure out how to get through it. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, for me, it was a whole rough experience. So we're gonna put a pin in that for a second, though. We're gonna play another banger.
All right.
We're gonna play AWACS 1 Million, and then we're gonna play Amazing.
And when we get back, we're gonna talk about the black activists, you know, what you're doing with them, with that movement, with the Black Lives Matter and everything like that.
Black Lives Matter grassroots. We gotta say grassroots at the end.
Grassroots.
We gotta say Black Lives Matter grassroots because they different. You know, people get this misconception. We not them. It's gotta be clear.
We definitely will get to the break everything down to us after these videos. You heard me? Y'all stay locked in.
Stay locked in, y'all.
Yeah. I like to take some time out, dedicate this to the greats. Yeah. You know, it's that good vibe, you know, smoke. Whatever you want to do, whatever. Holla. Yo. I just wish that I could fly away. A different vision means you got precision. I'm sticking with it, know that God's my witness. I just wish that I could fly away. I dreamed of everything that I've been living. My foreign chick think I'm exquisite, I've been on the wish list. Never miss a beat around me, I take care of business. Top down in my Benz, cause it's how I'm living. This right here is for the ones that got locked in prison. To knock my hustles like something forbidden. I just wish that I could fly away. We bearing children, every years is killing. My skin color got them feeling different. I just wish that I could fly away. We take their women, they ask for forgiveness. They imitate us cause we're the prescription. I just wish that I could fly away. This plantation is a secret nation. You will be naked without information. I just wish that I could fly away. You must stay focused, so it's cancellation. You black with knowledge, they get irritated. Check out the flavor, that's been duplicated. Stronger in numbers, that's our demonstration. Stick to the basics if you live in major. This toxic nature got me feeling faded. Hater, I just wish that I could fly away. It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. I ain't got time to hold back, so I paid up all debts. The good some believe in, I'm just stating all facts. Gotta believe it where you at. Your fears you must attack. When pressure's on the line, make sure you keep yourself in check. Figure that knowledge is a threat, how you use it is a test. Words that pierce so deep will have them disrespect. Go off track before you rap. If it's broke, it should be fixed. The game's not the same, sorry for whoever's trying to rap. Yo! It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. It's hard to trust these people nowadays, cause they look at you and lie right in your fucking face. Fly away.
All right, we back, y'all.
All right.
We back. We back. Welcome back to Stirring the Pot. We here. We moving. We booming. Don Cook, Tigmatic. We here.
Yeah,
2026. Episode 35. The Pot episode 170 something. We here. It's a mashup today.
For sure, we tapping into a lot right now, you heard me?
Right.
Finding out who Tigmatic really is, you heard me? Behind the scenes and on the scenes.
But
so just tap into the Black Lives Matter grassroots and what that means to you and how you got involved with it.
Okay. So Black Lives Matter grassroots is my family. First of all, say that.
Blood fam, biological fam.
Huh?
Blood fam, like relative, real relative.
No, not by blood, but they definitely my family.
All right, most definitely. Just trying to make it understood.
Yeah, not by blood, but blood couldn't make us any more close. Ain't my folks. I love them. I have a high regard and respect for the work that we do. I'm very proud to be a part of this movement, and I am the formation chapter of Black Lives Matter Grassroots North Carolina. I'm gonna put it up there. I don't know if they can see that. Can they see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. You know.
Certified.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so being a head organizer means work. Abolitionist work. Purpose over popularity, as my mentor, Dr. Porter Miller, would say. And we don't stand on red carpets, like my other mentor, Dr. Melina Abdullah, would say. It's not a popularity contest. We here to help people that were wrongfully done, injustices to families who's lost their children to the hands of police, and everything else that's a civil injustice to our people, man. So
when did activism shift from belief to action for you?
So a lot of people didn't know this about me, right? Um, this was something that was always on my mind, even as a young boy. I always was interested in doing activism. I just didn't know where to go, who to turn to, who to talk to, and how to really do the work and learn what it is to be an activist. So I have great mentors like Dr. Portia Miller, once again, Dr. Melina Abdullah, Sheila Bates, uh, Terry Wilson, and a whole bunch of people that show me the ropes, show me what activism is about. And I've always been a person that loved helping people anyway. So what better way to serve my community and give back in a way where I understand that it's about service.
Right. So what kind of challenges have you faced trying to start with the Black Lives Matter grassroots?
Well, I wouldn't say challenges. It's not really a challenge. But what I would say, one thing is learning about everything. When you're new to something, you have to learn how to do things and how to organize. And you don't have it all put together, all together in the beginning. So you learn as you go. So for me, that's what I've been doing, learning abolitionist work, learning what it means, learning about laws, helping with laws, helping getting laws built for us in this country. And it's a lot, man. It's not for play. It's not for show. And it's not something that it's to be looked at as like, I want to be the person out there to say I'm doing it. If that's your thing, don't do it. This has to be something that's genuine from the heart, and it.
So
I feel like you gotta be pure at heart.
what kind of injustice are people in North Carolina facing that don't get national attention?
Okay. Well, right now, as far as injustice, now you got me going in my bag. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So it's a lot going on, right? So when we talk about that, right, there's a lot of things going on in the community, where there's a lot of inequities, right? We got housing, jobs, healthcare, policing, voting. You can't even vote properly. And they try to redline a lot of things and make it hard for people to vote. So nowadays, you can't even vote without having some type of booth move to make it harder for people to make a vote. All sorts of things. So it's so many different angles and aspects that we can choose to speak on. I mean, which one you want to talk about?
Whatever ones you feel like the most important, that need to be heard, that maybe haven't been touched on.
Yeah.
That we could use this platform, this is what this platform is built for, you know what I'm saying?
Well, for one, we could talk about systemic racism, it's like a lack of investment for us Black people, lower wages, unequal access to quality schooling. It's so many. I could keep going, bro. But there's a lot of hindering of education for us and economic growth. And one of the things that we want to do is help in a way where people can get the proper education that they need and they can have access to resources so that they can grow in a space where they feel safe about having these things to learn, to be able to learn and make the communities better by having these things,
Right. So when you involved in this, do you ever like get burnt out? Does it ever like get stressful? Putting these events together or protests together.
No, because I look at it like this, right? A lot of the times there's going to be situations that occur and there's going to be people that need to speak up, right?
Right.
That's where I come in. And who's going to be the person to help those people seek justice? Who's going to be that person?
Right.
So this is what we do in our grassroots family. We speak for the voiceless. And that's the goal, right? To speak up. Because it's a lot of people nowadays that don't want to speak up. We're the ones that'll speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Or those that don't get their just due because such and such, officer such and such shot their child and the cop just got off and just was able to get away with it.
Right.
Do you
ever feel like when you protesting and stepping up, being that spokesperson, do you ever feel like you like become a target or anything like that?
I would say no, because my community, I feel like my community is behind me. So for me to have burnout, I don't think I'm tired of fighting for people. I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of fighting for people. There's too much inequality out here for me to get tired. You know what I'm saying? And I look at it like this. God put us on this earth to help others than ourselves. So no, to answer your question, no, I don't get burnout from that. Now, do I get burnout from podcasting? Hell yeah.
Do you ever feel like a target though? Do you ever feel like it makes you a target to like other organizations or police or
well,
government or
I'm
anything
new,
like
right?
that?
I'm new blood, so they ain't seen my face yet, but they gonna get a whip from me.
Right.
My chapter's not fully formatted, but once we get in full formation, yeah, they gonna get a whip from me. They gonna see a lot of me. It ain't gonna be rapper Tig, it's activist Tig, and boots on the ground, front lines, putting in work for our people. And that's what I'm really here for.
What have you learned from like Dr. Melina Abdullah or Dr. Cornell West? Like, what are some of the advice they giving you that you could pass down to somebody who may be trying to get into activism?
Well, one of the things that I love about Doc Melly Mel, right? She said this to me, and when I first got to meet her in person in LA, one thing that she said to me, I was like, we were talking and I was like, yeah, I like to be myself. And she was like, well, be unapologetically black, Tig. For me, I feel like I do that anyway, but it just made me so comfortable. And that's one piece of advice that she gave me. Now, Dr. West, um, he's an amazing soul, man. He's an amazing person. And one of the things that he told me was to keep my focus and make sure I tell my story, because God put me here for a reason. And to join this movement was a definite part of my purpose.
Right.
And I agree with him when he said that to me. I agree with him. First of all, you know, he's one of the longest activists living. He's a legendary activist. And to hear him say that to me, to even have a conversation or even be in the same room and talk to him was like surreal for me, because I've been watching this man since I was a kid, you know, and I really admire him. So for him to say, you know, I'm blessed with an opportunity to be here, and the best thing that I can do is to fight and continue to fight. It kind of like lit a fire up under me and made me understand that this is bigger than me.
Right.
You know, and when it comes to abolitionist work, helping create laws or write laws, or helping people in general, you got to remember that God put us here to serve Him and to serve others, and not ourselves anyway. So like that's the driving force for me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.
So what role do artists and podcasters play in liberation movements?
Well, for one, I'll say for artists, they play a big role. Why? Artists can speak on subjects unapologetically. We can just say what we feel, get the message across, and hopefully it reaches the masses. So that's the best part about being an artist when it comes to that. When it comes to podcasting, getting the message out, of course, we're live. We're able to reach people all over the world, right? My show is growing. So with the show growing, people are seeing my show in France, Chile, UK, Scotland. Like, you know what I'm saying? All different types of places. So when they see the episodes where I have Grassroots Family on and we're talking about the chapters or injustice families, shout out to shout out to my Grassroots family, you know, and shout out to the Josephs, you know, they're definitely an inspiration as well. Shout out to Portia Miller once again. Shout out to Baba Na, Baba Achille. Baba Achille is definitely another person who inspires me to push on, because he's been doing it for a long time too. And I want to be just like that. I want to be in the fight for 40 years. You feel me?
Right.
Old, so old that I'm still moving and fighting.
Most
And I ain't
definitely.
afraid of nothing, you know? And that's how I look at it, you know? In this life, you know, we should fear no man but God anyway.
Right.
So they inspire me to push on and move in a way where, yeah.
So tell the people if you know how they could get involved with a Black Lives Grassroots.
Black Lives Matter Grassroots.
Yeah, you know how they could get involved.
He's trying to say, y'all. Don, he gotta get acclimated. Don't worry, he gonna be acclimated, y'all. So
Hey,
to my grassroots family, he knew he learning.
But how can somebody get involved with it? Like, where did they go? You know, give them more information on that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, as always, you can contact me personally, or as always, I put it on the screen all the time. So just give me. You can go right here. Hold on. Black Lives Matter Grassroots.org.
Just hit that link right there. Y'all can tab in. Y'all trying to get, join the movement.
Anything you want to know about me and you want to contact Grassroots, I'm tongue twisted. But anything you want to know about Grassroots, go on blmgrassroots.org, and they have all the information you need. Or contact me. You can scan this QR code right here. It'll lead you to all things Tigmatic. It'll also lead you to my chapter as well. So, you can get acclimated with what I do and what our chapter does. And it's not really an I thing, it's a we thing.
Right.
Although this interview was about me today, I appreciate it. I'm going to be the man not in the hot seat that much.
Let's switch the topic a little bit. Tell me, since we kind of running low on time, tell me about the Demonic brand.
All right, so Demonic brand is a website, e-commerce website where you can purchase clothing, something like this quarter zip your boy got on right now. You know what I'm saying? Catch the quarter zips, jeans, custom clothes, whatever,
What
it's
made you
there.
want to start that brand?
Oh man. For one, I'm a person who likes to create. So I like to make designs just like you do, my guy.
Yeah,
Darn is another one, so how it goes, bro. You get a idea up top, you print it out, you draw it up, you print it out, and you just want to have people wearing it, people looking good, feeling good about what they buying, what they wearing, some quality behind it.
Right.
And that's the thing. It feels good to give people quality merchandise that they can have for themselves. And you want people to return. So that's one of the things that feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? So
why is economic empowerment part of liberation?
well, without the resources, right? You can't really help people. If you have the resources, you can help as many as possible. So with the biggest part of that is having equity, having something for your baby's babies,
Right. Something you
So
can pass down.
without it, you're not free.
Right.
Not without the economic part of it. If you don't have, equity, you only can move it so much on the board. And that's something that we all should think about and consider. It should always be something that's in the back of your mind. I hope so, especially if people have, kids and friends that they love and care about. You want to think about how you can share it amongst each other.
Right.
So there you go.
So what does freedom feel like for you?
Freedom feels like for me, I would say freedom feels like for me the day that all of our people don't have to worry about a thing. Everybody got enough to eat.
Right.
Everybody got enough in their bank account. Nobody's fighting for scraps. No beef amongst each other. That's what freedom looks like to me. Unity.
Right.
That's what freedom really looked like to me. Unity. Nobody never really asked me that question, bro. That's a great question to ask. But God is causing a shift in the world because of everything that's going on in it, right?
Right.
But the only way we can truly be free is through him. So if you ain't got God first, it ain't even gonna matter anyway if you got everything else you need.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
You know? So that's what freedom looks like. True trust in God and
Yeah, because everything is,
equity for everybody.
everything down here is materialistic. Jobs, you can get hired and fired, but your faith will take you places that you never thought were possible, and that's really the truth.
I agree. So let's close this thing out, man. Anything you want to say? Before we dip out?
Man, just shout out to Tigmatic for allowing me to, start co-hosting on the Stirring the Pot. You know what I'm saying? It was a great interview, getting to know you better. You know what I'm saying? For the audience to get to know you better, through your struggles. You know what I'm saying? How you overcame them and became the man that you are now, and all the great things you're doing. So salute to you on that.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate it.
saying? And look, man, lock in. Every Saturday we're gonna be going live with artists, entrepreneurs, actors, comedians. We're gonna be stirring the pot. Tigmatic, Don Cook. You already know.
Hey, Don, you already know the vibes.
Most definitely.
I appreciate you, man. We're gonna do some big things. Silent promotions.
Oh, love.
Stirring the pot, baby. We here.
We birthing legends.
Yeah. Early, never late. All right. So until then, folks, it's your boy. I'm gonna bring it home with one more video, and we're gonna get it booming. Just like that.
We coming in from the door, man, on folks them. Y'all already know, cuz. Yeah. I rock all this white like I'm godly. Sushi gon' come with wasabi. Fresh off the steps of the porch. I walk out, get in a Porsche. Know that I'm using the force. Know that I mastered the course. Known as the plug and the source. Haters, they feeling remorse. This for my dogs in court. That's facing the judge and the jury. My brother, he made it in sports. And that's why he rock all that jewelry. She can remember me now. Know that my vision is blurry. I got these racks on me now. Know that the money done carry me. Know that I'm lit in my city. Know that I'm hot. Know that we poppin', man. Everybody chasing that cloud. Running their mouth. Know I really feed the game. Hold up. We on the beaches and right off the...
Tune in to the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
What's up, y'all? Tune into the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
Radio for the Pot Podcast with your boy Tigmatic. Interview.
Pot Podcast, stirring the pot.
So tune into the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic on Caliwood TV.
Tune in to the Pot Podcast with my boy Tigmatic.
And going on radio. You might get some good music and some knowledge.